You're playing a game and your character suddenly falls off. You wouldn't really play the game if you had to start all the way from the beginning, which is why we have checkpoints. Now, what if you could create similar checkpoints for your computer in case something goes wrong? Hey guys, welcome to Tech Made Easy. In this video, I'll show you how to use Rescuezilla, a free beginner-friendly tool that can help you clone, backup, and restore your entire PC, even if it's completely dead. Whether you're upgrading hard drives or recovering from a total disaster, Rescuezilla makes it effortless. Here's the best part. You don't have to be a tech genius to use Rescuezilla, and it doesn't even have to be installed. And it can even recover a completely unbootable system within minutes. Just boot from the USB and you're in control. There's going to be four main steps in this video. First, we are going to download Rescuezilla, then download a tool called Balena Etcher, and using Balena Etcher, we are going to flash the Rescuezilla file from our system onto the USB. And the final step, we are going to boot from the USB and use Rescuezilla to either create a backup or restore. Like I said before, it's simple, beginner friendly, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it. Before we go ahead and download the Rescuezilla file, we need to make sure we have two things: an USB in which we'll store the Rescuezilla file, and an external hard disk in which we'll store the backup, which will later be used for recovering as well. Now, to download Rescuezilla, we can head over to Google and search Rescuezilla. This is the website. Once we're in the website, we can scroll down and click on download. This is the file we need to download. It is the latest version of the ISO file. I'm going to go ahead and download it. Now that we have downloaded the ISO file, we need to make sure we follow this really important step, which is downloading a tool called Balena Etcher. Now, this step is really important because we are going to use the tool to flash the file from our system onto the USB. Now, you might be wondering why we are using a tool for it. The thing is, you can't just copy the Rescuezilla file onto your USB like you would with regular files. That won't make it bootable. What Etcher does is it flashes the Rescuezilla image properly onto your USB, meaning it sets it up in such a way that your computer can actually read and boot from the USB when it starts. Now, to download Balena Etcher, just head over to Google and search Balena Etcher. You can see the website. Click on it, click on download, and according to your system, download the latest version. Now that we have downloaded Balena Etcher, we are going to open it. This is where we are going to flash the files from our system onto the USB. So we'll select flash from file and select the ISO file of Rescuezilla. And this is the name of my USB in which I'll be storing Rescuezilla, and then flash. Once the file is flashed onto your USB and if it's still plugged in, you should be able to see this image of Rescuezilla inside the USB. Now for the final step, we are going to boot from the USB, which will require you to first enter the BIOS setup, but it is different for every system. So make sure to look up on how to boot from a USB for your particular system before going further. After we boot from the USB and the software is done loading, we should be able to see this screen. So the first thing we are going to do is create a backup. Now it is recommended to read all the steps before clicking on next. So the first step is select the source drive that you would like to create a backup image from, which is going to be our operating system. And as of now, I have Fedora on my machine. So we're going to select it and click on next. And the second step is select which partitions to create a backup of. Leave all partitions selected if you are unsure. We're going to select all of them and click on next. Now select the destination drive. Our destination drive is the hard disk we have attached. We're going to select our hard disk and click on next. Now the fourth step is to select the destination folder. I'm going to leave this as it is and click on next. And the fifth step is name your backup. So we're going to change the name from Rescuezilla to our current operating system. Now you could provide a short description if you want to and go to the next step, which is the compression settings. And here it says, don't make any changes if you are unsure. So we're going to leave this as well, a default, and go next. And this is basically the summary of everything we have selected so far. The source drive is where our operating system is. And these are all the partitions we have selected for backup. This is the compression format. And this is where the backup image will be stored, which is our hard disk. Now we're going to click on next and start the backup. Now that we have a backup, we are going to use this backup to restore. So now I'm going to show you how to restore. Similar to when we took a backup, it's important to read all the steps before clicking on next. So the first step is to select the location of the image. Now, if you remember, we stored the image on our hard disk. So we're going to select the hard disk and click on next. And the second step is to select the backup image. Now, I have two images, and we did rename the image from Rescuezilla to our operating system. So we are going to select that file and click on next. And the third step is to select the drive to restore. We want our image to be restored on the hard disk of our system and not the external hard disk. And the fourth step is to select the partitions to restore. It says leave everything selected to completely restore the destination drive. So we are going to select all the partitions and click on next. And this is basically the summary of everything we have selected so far. The source image of where our image is, and the destination drive where we want our image to be restored, and all the partitions that are going to be restored, and it will be overwriting the partition table. So in this video, we've learned how to take backups and how to restore from backups using Rescuezilla. You can create as many backups as you want, which will serve as different checkpoints similar to a game. And I would highly recommend that you create backups in case you buy a new PC or just before you make some major changes that you're worried about. And thanks to Rescuezilla, you no longer have to worry about experimenting with your PC, as if something goes wrong, you can always restore it. If this video helped you and you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up button. And if you think this video might help your friends or family, please do share this video with them.